What's going on, hockey world, and welcome to Goal Line Hockey. So today we're going to be taking a look at the situation with Torey Krug, the four potential suitors that seem to be in on the negotiation rights for Torey Krug heading into this offseason and looking to get the exclusive rights to him in a trade with the Boston Bruins. We'll be taking a look at those teams, who I think he will be going to. We'll be looking at all that in this video. If you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey and want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below, and let's take a look at who may be getting the services of Torey Krug. Alright, so here we go. So the Boston Bruins looking to trade the rights of Torey Krug to a potential team in the division. As two of these teams that we'll be taking a look at are in the Atlantic Division. We'll be taking a look at them and the two Western Conference teams that seem to be in the mix for Torey Krug. All right, so let's start things off. So looking at the teams that are interested, there's been reports that there are four specific teams in the NHL looking for the negotiating rights of Torey Krug. Now, you may be asking yourself the question, why do these teams want the negotiation rights? Why don't they just wait till the deadline when the free agency starts? There's a couple of reasons for that, and the main reason is there's an 8th year on the contract. So what does that mean? Well, on the open free agent market, the most years you can sign on a contract is 7 years. That's the most you can do. The NHL has a cap on 8, but that's only if he is in your organization at that point and he is technically signing an extension. Then he can sign an 8th year. Now you may be wondering, what's the difference between a 7th and an 8th year? There's a pretty big difference, specifically in terms of money per season. So most guys on their contracts, they're going to be looking for the same amount of money on their contract. Well, if he wants, let's just say he wants an 8-year deal at, say, he wants $80 million, right? So if you divide that $80 million in 8 years, you're able to divide it at a lesser cap hit per season than if you have to in 7 years. You get the picture? So let's say he wants $10 million per season. So he gets $10 million for 8 years. That's pretty solid. But now if he has to crunch that $80 million into 7 years, now it's over $11 million that they have to spend. You see where I'm coming from here. And a team like the Colorado Avalanche, a team like the Vegas Golden Knights, who we'll be talking about in this video, those are the teams that really need that 8th year to potentially lower that cap hit on an annual basis. And that's really what they're looking for with that 8th year. So hopefully that clears that up, as well as they have the negotiation rights, which means they're able to talk to Torey Krug before the free agency period. At that point, any team in the NHL can talk to Torey Krug, and I'm sure he will be taking up plenty of offers. So if you're that first team, you stand out, as well as you're kind of showing him, listen, we invested in you a little bit here. We gave up, a couple of assets to try and get your rights. We really believe that you could help our organization, and usually players will sign on with that. A lot of times it doesn't work out, but there are plenty of situations where it does. A lot of teams feel it's worth the risk. It's not guaranteeing that Torey Krug will be with that team. It's more, like I said, trying to talk to him sooner, as well as, get that 8th year on the contract. So what are the teams? Now, I already gave away a little bit. The Vegas Golden Knights and the Colorado Avalanche on the West Coast, as well as the Detroit Red Wings and the Florida Panthers in the Eastern Conference. So which team of these four needs him the most? It's the Detroit Red Wings. You look at where they ended in the standings last year, you look at their defensive depth, they need help. And I think a guy like Torey Krug could absolutely help that. For Steve Yzerman's rebuild with the Detroit Red Wings, a great piece to put in that mix. He could play with Moritz Seider next season. Well, I think that would be a great combination as their top pair going into next season at some point. So the Red Wings are going to be the team that really needs him the most. Do the Boston Bruins want to trade Torey Krug in the Atlantic Division, though? That's the Florida Panthers and the Detroit Red Wings. I don't think they want to do that. And I'm sure if they trade him to the Colorado Avalanche or the Vegas Golden Knights, I'm sure there will be some kind of move there by the Bruins to make sure he doesn't end up back in the Eastern Conference in a sign and trade where, they flip him. Let's say Vegas or Colorado gets him, acquires him and then flips him back to the East Coast. I'm sure the Boston Bruins wouldn't be too happy about that. We saw the Ottawa Senators have that situation with Mike Hoffman. So we'll see how that goes. Which team do I think will be getting the big prized defenseman? And it really comes down to the Colorado Avalanche or the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, in my opinion, I'd love to see him go to the Vegas Golden Knights. I like the Golden Knights. I like Robin Leonard there. I like Mark Stone. I like all the pieces they have there with the Vegas Golden Knights. But I really like how he would look with the Colorado Avalanche long term. They have plenty of salary cap space. They're in a win now mode as well as the Vegas Golden Knights, but they have more salary cap space to work with, and which I think could be huge for them. And I just think they could get this deal done. I think they're a little bit more urgent. Joe Sakic, they did not play that well this season, so yes, I mean they did go on a nice playoff run, but the Vegas Golden Knights, they're a little bit more content. Hey, we went to the Western Conference Final. We had a pretty solid run. But let's be honest, that's not what you're here for. You want to win the whole thing. So, Colorado, they ended up a little bit, they probably would have liked to get to the conference final. That's really the goal that they were hoping for this season. They were a cup favorite at certain points this year. So, a little bit of a disappointment there. But Nathan McKinnon, Mikko Rantanen, Gabriel Landeskog, and then you've got guys on the back end like Torey Krug. Oh, man, that's a really solid group, as well as Cale Makar. Cale Makar and Torey Krug on the same defensive pair, that's deadly. So we'll see how that ends up working out. Even, Sam Girard, one of those guys you could throw in there. So that's my opinion. I think Torey Krug will go to the Colorado Avalanche. But let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think of that? Do you think that Torey Krug will go to the Avs? Do you think he'll go to the Golden Knights? Or do you think he'll stay on the East Coast? Do you think he'll end up with the Florida Panthers or the Detroit Red Wings? Or if not one of those four teams, do you think maybe he will go to another team that we haven't heard about? Let me know in the comment section down below. And if you like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey and want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and a subscribe down below. Make sure to check out our Patreon at Goal Line Hockey, as well as our Instagram and Twitter at goalline_hockey. Links are in the description down below. And if you like what we're doing, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.